YouTube, we need to talk. We need to talk right now. And I am talking about this vehicle right over here. And we need to talk about this ASAP. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the newest Supertest tank BZ-72-1. And if we go to the Wargaming's forum, this is the Supertest forum. This is where they released the first details about that, and this is why we need to talk about that. We need to talk about the mobility part over here, because this is absolutely straight out broken, overpowered tank in this current state. And as I said, I want to talk about a couple things overall involving this vehicle. Because, let's be honest over here, this tank is getting nerfed. It has to get nerfed. Most likely they're going to nerf it. But more about that in a second, guys. The latest vehicle to enter the Supertest this week is the BZ-72-1, a Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. The vehicle is equipped with rocket boosters, features relatively strong armor, and mounts a powerful 130mm gun that penetrates 260mm of armor and deals 560 HP of damage. Already you can see, very good. I love 130mm guns. 260 pen is very nice, 560 alpha, very nice, I would say. Good at trading, good at everything, right? The BZ-72-1 also has a robust 900 horsepower engine and good maneuverability, which gives it the edge over its peers. The combination of mobility and rocket boosters allow this tank to quickly pass through dangerous parts of the battlefield and catch the enemy off guard by reaching combat areas. Guys, when they say quickly pass through dangerous areas, they forgot to say that this tank is going to be the fastest tank in the game. Basically, the fastest tank. If all our calculations are correct, together with the field mods, this tank could end up going up to 90 kilometers per hour in the mobility mode. So I have many pictures for you. So this is how this tank looks in the garage. We have some details over here, gun details. So everywhere the mobility details are exactly the same, where it goes 50 normally, 75 with the booster. But guys, how it gets up to 90 or 88 or 87, well, we are going to talk about that soon. Here is the ass. You can enjoy watching, you know, we have 16 rockets in total, ammunition details and some more pictures. I'm going to show you all of that, but at first let's take a look at the statistics, because everybody at the stream and everybody overall were questioning what the hell is going on with this tank. So let's start with the firepower at first, and you can see that firepower is very decent. It has some bad things, but overall 560 alpha, as we said, very good. 640 with high explosive. It has 260 pen with AP, which is the standard round. 320 with heat. It is not the highest, but you know, still 320. 65 with high explosive. Shell velocity is a little bit meh. Definitely 1000 meters per second shell velocity plus 950 with heat. You know, it is definitely not the best. It has, let's say, roughly it can fire 4 shells. So let's say around 2300, 2400 DPM, base DPM with this type of reload. Around that should be right. Then 2.5 second aiming time, sorry, this is decent. 0.38 accuracy. Well, this tank is not made to snipe, it is made to be a first tank everywhere it goes, basically. So face on in the enemy face and dealing damage that way. So the accuracy sniping wise does not really matter. So 0.38 I would say is actually pretty decent for a tank like that, right? Then also it doesn't have a gun depression issue. It has -8 degrees of gun depression and it can carry 35 shells. Now, the biggest problem and what made the community quite mad about this tank is the mobility. And like, Wargaming has to know, guys. They have to know that this tank in this current state is absolutely bonkers, overpowered, broken. There is no other way to put it. So we have the jet booster vehicle over here. Inside the brackets, you can see the numbers that are with the jet booster mode activated. So 50 top speed in the standard driving mode, which is already pretty damn good, right? 15 moving backwards, 900 horsepower engine, 16.7 power to weight ratio. Already pretty decent. Hull traverse speed 34, turret 27 degrees, but guys, it has rocket boosters, it has 5 charges, duration 10 seconds. And what that rocket boosting does to your vehicle is base value, top speed up to 75. Up to 75 top speed base value. With 2250 horsepower, giving it 41.67 power to weight ratio. 41.67. This tank is the first tank to climb any hill, any aggressive position, even faster than medium tanks, even faster than some light tanks, I would say. The only downtime is the booster, the downtime between boosters, I would say. Maybe this is what they are going to do, nerfing it, right? So, mobility, absolutely bonkers. And let's now continue talking about the mobility while we go inside the game. So let's take a BZ, what is my BZ-75? This is a good tank to showcase it on because this also has the rocket booster mode. So what turbo does on those type of vehicles is it is not boosting the top speed inside the jet boosting mode with this base value. It is actually boosting it with the base value plus 50%. So take a look over here. Mobility, standard mobility 37, gets boosted by 5, as the turbo says over here in the standard driving mode, but in the turbo mode, in the jet boost mode, it gets boosted with the turbo by plus 7.5. So, if you would use Bond Turbo over here, for example, then the standard mobility would get boosted by plus 6, and this top speed inside the jet boost mode by plus 9. And this is what we quickly took a look over here as well, just to showcase that to you. Boom, boom, boom. If I would switch this to this right over here. Can I see what is boosting it inside this mode? No, you cannot see, but it is 57, so basically, plus 9 by plus 9 kilometers per hour. And also the field modifications. The standard gives you plus 2 over here on BZ-58, but the jet booster gets boosted by 50% extra. So plus 2 in the standard mode, but let's quickly see. Yes, plus 3 from the field modification inside the booster mode. So once again, going back to this vehicle, if you would put Bond Turbo on this, you get plus 9 kilometers per hour extra mobility. And we are already at 84 kilometers per hour. And now, because this tank is classified as a breakthrough heavy tank, not like this BZ-75, the assault heavy tank that gets this field mode, boosting it by plus 2 kilometers per hour, top forward speed. But it is in the same class as Object 277. Let me quickly bring that up. Object 277, breakthrough heavy tank. It is in the same class. And if we go to the field modes, over here you can see that the field mode, what you can pick on Object 277 is plus 4 kilometers per hour to your top speed. So, if that tank also gets that, and field mode is boosting it by 50% more inside the jet booster mode, we are looking at a heavy tank that can potentially, if all the calculations are correct, right, go up to 90 kilometers per hour top speed. Now, when we were talking about this tank during stream, guys, there were so many people, of course, every single player, every single viewer said that it is not balanced. Wargaming is going to nerf it. Wargaming is going to nerf it 100%. There is no way they are not going to nerf it, and I do believe so as well. I believe that this is just the first version. They are sharing this vehicle to us, or in which state they are sharing this tank to us, right? But the question is, why the hell are they even sharing this? And it doesn't make sense, them releasing this type of tank in clearly overpowered state, because it clearly makes the community mad. When people realized about this tank, I had so many messages, questions in the chat. Have you seen BZ-72? This is absolutely broken. Have you seen this? Have you seen that tank? This is nuts, you know? Are they doing it so they can say, you see guys, we released this type of tank and we heard your feedback, you thought it is overpowered, we are going to nerf it. And they can say, you know, that they listen to the community. Or alternatively, this is just their way of balancing vehicles, releasing it at first as, you know, very, very overpowered to see how crazy powerful it actually is. And then they're going to step it down, you know, patch or update after update while inside the testing still. Just, you know, maybe this is their testing, what they always do. They start with absolutely broken tank and they tune it down, not the other way around. You know, they start with a weaker and buff it up a bit. Maybe this is the second version of that, or the third version is the nightmare version that it actually ends up in the game like that, which is, you know, which would be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, the most what makes the most sense is that they can say, hey guys, we heard your feedback and you see this tank is getting nerfed, because they're actually looking for the feedback as well. There is a feedback form over here, and I do not see like any player who actually cares about the game. I don't think any player is looking forward seeing this tank like in this state where it is. The only way how I would see this tank coming into this version is if there is like let's say 20-second or 30-second downtime between the boosters. Like you're not, if you used boost, you're not able to use another boost in the next 30 seconds or something like that. Or it is going to be some kind of a crazy reward like Personal Missions Campaign 3, because, you know, Object 279E came into this game in absolute broken state as well for many, in many players' opinion. Anyway, YouTube, let me know what you think about this tank so far in this state, because, guys, believe it or not, they are looking for your feedback. So here is a feedback form. I'm going to link this forum post under this stream, so give them some constructive feedback, because, you know, feedback without constructive criticism is not a feedback, it is just slander, let's put it that way. But we have the in-game pictures over here, and by the way, the armor, I'm not still super sure about how the armor is going to look like, because we have not talked about the survivability yet. So it has 2,200 hit points, which is, you know, for this type of tank pretty damn good. Around 2,200 is where those type of tanks end up being anyway. 2,200, 300, 400. Hull armor 140, 120, 60. Turret armor 260, 170, and 100. And also it has 400 meter view range on the top of everything, and very beautiful, comfy 4-man crew layout. Commander, gunner, driver, and loader. Now, the armor is a little bit weird, because over here you can see 140, 120, and 60, but in the game files we were accessed to, or we got access to London, sorry. We have 155 in the front, 70 on the sides, and 40 in the rear. But if this, what Wargaming shared us in the forum, is true, this tank basically can side scrape as well. So what it can do is it can go to the very aggressive positions early on with this absolutely bonkers mobility. It has minus 8 degrees of gun depression. It can do side scraping as well when needed. So what the hell is going to be, what is bad about this tank so far? You know, maybe gun handling. Yeah, we can argue that the gun handling is a little bit bad, but you can bump it up with equipment units. Yeah. That is some heavy breeding over here I did. And we have some more pictures on the Armor Patrol, who was able to share some more pictures from Watt Express. This is how this tank basically looks like. It looks a good one, it looks a good tank. It is still, you know, the first information, early Supertest development, but they are looking for our feedback. I would really like to see this tank in action. I would really like to get some footage to see how fast it can actually go. Or maybe, guys, maybe this tank has a spatial balancing. This is what I thought about right now. So, as I said, maybe there is just a big, long cooldown between boosters. Or maybe this is a tank that cannot carry turbo. You know? But would this balance it? And by the way, if you put turbo on it, you boost the engine power even more. You boost the engine power even more, right? Because 75? BZ-75, right? This boosts the... Does it boost? Yes, this gives plus 200. So you get even more engine power, even more power to weight ratio when you use turbo. I forgot about that. The turbo boosts the engine power even more, and it gives it even more power to weight ratio. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. What the hell is going on over there in the office? But yeah, this is how this tank looks like. Looks slick. By the way, if the armor is even 120, what they shared, you can see how sloped this upper plate is. If you use the gun depression, well, this basically becomes impenetrable. And if it has 120mm side armor, well, I guess you can still hit like this bar to penetrate that. This seems to be a little bit angled inwards, I would say so. So maybe you can penetrate that when it is side scraping. It has some commander hatch action as well, definitely. Commander hatches are there, so most likely a weak spot. Yeah, commander hatches are actually pretty big. So turret seems to have weaknesses at least, unless this commander hatch is like 300mm thick. We have a couple commander hatches like that in the game. So it looks like a heavy tank in a Progetto form, especially under angle like that. It looks like a heavy Progetto 65 as far as the look goes, with this heavy upper plate and overall hull shape and slope. Yikes. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Adios.